I was just going to say that.
Somebody else remembered as well, did you? All righty. When the mind becomes still and quiet, the world disappears and there is only one awareness, one consciousness, one spirit. But when you are focused on the world, there are many individuals that appear to exist. And the complexity that each individual must live, of course, is immense. But behind it all is one. And much of the physical world that is aware of the paths we walked, then perhaps at least within their mind, understand that there is one. Now, they may not have experienced the singularity. They may not have experienced that there is just one awareness that looks through the eyes of each individual. They may not have experienced that there is only one spirit, but see, perhaps, that there are millions or billions of individual bodies and minds and souls. But you can indeed experience this unity, this oneness. The oneness is what looks through your eyes now. The oneness is the part that magnifies your hearing, heightens your touch, your smell, your taste. The oneness is what gives life to your physicality. And from it comes all thought, all action, and all knowledge. You think that your thoughts are your own. You think that you are the one that undertakes any action that is to be done. But the true action does not come from you. The thought does not come from you, but indeed comes from somewhere deeper, comes from behind the physicality. And the impulse to act, to do, to know, pushes man forward. A man then decides to hinder or block the true flow of spiritual light. The dilution of the activity is made through desires and karmas that the individual owns and believes. And this then dilutes and changes the course of the spiritual action. But the light of the one shines equally on the diamond or the charcoal. It is only the diamond that reflects the light purely. The charcoal, at best, casts but a pale, dim light. So it is not the purity is not there. Rather, it is the allowing of the purity to flow in its most pure form, an expression of light. That expression of light is flowing into you now. The impulse from the one is flowing in and attempting to go through you. Your thoughts start as the pure self and then are owned or changed or knowingly diverted into the individual self and its needs and its wants. And even if I say these words and you can accept them, only part of the battle is within the mind. And you must grow to release and to trust and to surrender and allow the true impulse of the world unseen to flow through into the world that you can see, touch, and taste. This is the definition of the diamond. The purity of light in and the purity of light out. This is the definition of the flow of pure love and truth. Truth starts whole and complete, and yet your physical world bends it to suit circumstance or thoughts or desire. Therefore, truth is lost and never truly seen, and the knowledge of the non-physical world is covered by the debris of the mind. The clarity that one is craving is the clarity of truth and love and purity of self. This is your natural home. And yet you pay more attention to the injury in your finger than the purity of light and love that is forever given to you. You pay more attention to the poor choice of words of another that you hold and take dearly to your heart, rather than the love that sits behind it all. You pay more attention to $1 or 2 or 3 than the present that goes beyond understanding. You crave the noise and ignore the stillness. You desire the acquisition and miss the oneness of all things. You say you'll be happy then, but miss the serenity that is available to you for eternity. But you do not accept your birthright and play the game of being small. And then you say, poor me, unworthy me. Pain and difficulty behest me. And I say that is not true. The truth of you is clear and pure and full of love that comes in and must flow out. The truth of you is the light of Saturn, not the pain of ownership and action, but the light of all knowing, all being, and the one that is with you beyond all doubt, all concerned, and can never and will never leave you. The oneness that sits in the joy of yourself. Yet, the thoughts of what you should do and say covers the purity of heart. That difficult client, those poor words, those errant deeds, the not knowing, is all craving you to the truth of your home, the truth of your pure self, the feeling of light and love. And I say these words, and you would say to me, I want. That feels true. But before the cockerel crows, you will deny it 3 times. You'll deny your truth because your truth seems so hidden. Yet it is everywhere around you. Hence, the clarifying of your 2 eyes to become one means that the truth of sight is given to you all. It is with you always because you are in fact it. It is not something you must acquire. It is not something that you must create. It is not hidden from you in a cave in a jungle. It does not cost you great riches, and it is not special in any way. It is not special because it is given to all. No living being is without the purity of the oneness of the light. And the difference between a master and a fool is both live the physical world, but the master knows the truth. And the fool, desiring of the truth, looks hither and thither, but never within. So if you are believing of my words, and you are wishing for those words to be true, and if you are willing, you may do a simple experiment. Pick your 1 hour of the day, today or tomorrow. Pick your 1 hour and live for 1 hour if my words are true. Only acknowledge unity and ignore individuality. Accept you have boundless measure of all the qualities that you chase. Live for 1 hour with love in your heart. Live for 1 hour as if you are a child of light. Live for 1 hour in the purity and say to the world, you own me not. I play your game and we dance for a while, but you do not. For 1 hour you live as if my words are true. And bring your awareness to the 1 hour. Watch what happens to your life and the lives of others around you. Watch the world and see how it changes. See how you become the expression of light for the hour. And as the clock strikes the end of your time, you may return to your illusion if you wish. In that 1 hour, was there lack? Was there pain? Was the desire within you ever growing, never satisfied? Did you chase something in the world, or did you just accept? Did you crave noise and action, or did action come from the depth of your stillness? Did you hear the voice of spirit? Did you hear the music of the angel? Did you suffice knowing in the silence all was pure and complete? Or did you chase pain of the body? Did you pick difficulty or retain stillness? Did you pick charcoal instead of the diamond? Picking darkness instead of light? And what will you do now? Which is the driving factor that influences your very sense of being? What is the driving factor that pulls you from the Great Spirit into a life of pain and difficulty, sadness and illness? Which is the truth of your being? There are no expectations placed upon you. No one says you must do, you must achieve, you must become. No one says to you, you will be better if. All that is said is open your eyes and see what is true. Let the light be your guide. Let the light shine through you no matter how crumbled your body is. Let the light shine from you through your mind and burn away the leaves of pain and the debris that you have gathered over many lifetimes. Honor your truth. Come home and be home with us. Your home is not in the physical, but in the spiritual. And you know this to be true. And your heart craves this land of bliss and peace and presence. It is spoken in the words that one knows peace beyond all understanding. And peace is where you crave, not the unsatisfied and unsatisfying, but the acceptance and knowledge that the world is not where you live. So the truth of all thought and the truth of all action and the truth of all knowledge is based in the Lord. You are that Lord. So there is just a dusting of your mirror, a cleansing of your eye, a stillness of your mind. And then you get a glimpse. You feel that the silence is full, not empty. You feel the presence of the perfected. The wise ones draw close because you become and reveal yourself as a wise one themselves. The great spirits come near you at this time, not because they are a gift, but because you are already one of them. The pain drops away and the contentment is forever. The difficulties of yesterday leads way to the acceptance of today. The wonder is ever present, but you pick the splinter in the finger. So just release for 1 hour all thought of the physical world and see what this means for you and those near. Release the pains that you feel and the difficulties that you have and the errant thoughts and ways and the belief in sin for 1 hour. and live with clear sight, clear heart, and open mind, and become your birthright as the diamond. Become your birthright as an expression of light and love into the physical world. Let the purity of yourself be true to those in pain, and reflect to them the love that you are, lighting their little flame for them to realize that they too are the Great Spirit. You do not come into this world to do, to accomplish, to achieve, to gain, to own. But you come into this world to be an expression of light. You come into this world to love those in need, to tell those that are pained and in difficulty that they are the peace beyond the tortured body, that they are the clarity behind the difficult and troubled mind, that their passing is only from the physical into the spiritual. They have nothing to fear in death. They have more to fear in birth. But they come into the world and spend another 80 years attempting to be the purity that they once left behind. And the great masters who know this to be true, that the purity of Christ consciousness flows through the mere bodies of the human world to be the truth that is visible in the world. That the great beings that you call Jesus or Krishna are the expressions of the divine. And they came to the world to show to the world that they are not of the world. Not for their benefit, but for the benefit of all those that exist in front of them. They touch the world and say, this miracle that you see me do, you can do this and come home into that light of their truth, because that is your light also. You think you are poor, yet you are rich. And you think that you are a mere little self, and yet the whole world exists within a tiny corner of your presence. Be for 1 hour that truth. Be for 1 hour well in body and mind, and abiding in the light of all. Why would you be anywhere else? So there is a story of a great princess that seeks to find her guru. Unfortunately, she picks a false guru, and he takes her to a tower and ties her up. And the princess, forever trusting her guru, says, this is what I must do to realize my life. And the gods see that this princess is pure of heart, yet trapped within the bonds of her mind, and sends the Lord Krishna to see her. And Krishna says, release yourself. But love of her guru says, my guru has put me here, and it is only him I can trust to release me. And Krishna goes to get this guru, brings him to the princess. And now the princess, seeing both Krishna and Guru side by side, worships the Guru so much more because he has brought Krishna to her, and she can witness the presence of the Lord of Light. So even though you know this path was one based in falsehood, the story says that even a false guru can bring the light into the world. And the princess's binds were that of her mind, but her desire for light and the worshipping of love meant she achieved the truth of what was beyond the physical. She honored the love, the truth, and the devotion, and achieved her goal of living in the world forevermore, the world of forever, knowing that what was bright and light and what mattered more was the love she felt in her heart. And this story is a description of our actions now. I ask you to live for an hour with light and love and presence in your heart. And whether you are bound or not bound by mind or body or heart or action, the purity that matters is the one of your heart and the clarity of your mind. What matters most is how true you are to that being, how much you choose that love and that light over the crippled nature of body and mind. You should pick what is true for 1 hour. You should pick the light for 1 hour. Not to give it away, but to be it. And it will give itself away to those. You will come across the pains and the destitute. You are to be no more than the light and the presence so that they may light their own flame with yours. Is this not the truth of awakening and realizing? Is this so difficult? For 1 hour, you see the light and know the peace. At the end of your week, look back on your hour. How was that for you? Were you the light? Were you the love? Were you the presence to those in pain? Were you the peace to the troubled? And at the end of the hour, did you then pick to continue being the light or to forsake it and be the one chasing the dollar? Which did you choose? Did you choose the mortal life or the immortal? Did you choose the one where you have pain in your toes and your fingers and in your mind? Or did you pick the clear diamond, the one holding and honoring the truth for all to see? And then I ask you, why not pick it again for another hour on another day? And there is some method in my suggestion, as all we have tried to do is for those to become the light and to take that light into them, to go east and west, north and south, to embody that light and to let it shine, expecting not that others will change, expecting that they will not give you the riches that your heart once created or craved, but allow them to be a reflection of your truth. And then you are the true guru. You are the true being of purity for 1 hour on one day. Is this so difficult? This is your mission for the week. See what happens. Are my words true or false? Am I giving much and asking nothing in return? Or am I just burning away the desires, the fears, the attachment to what is not true? So now, as we read out the names on the healing list, let you all be the light for a minute, and let us together bring the sickness to purity, the pain into presence, and the challenged into peace. Just for the time of the healing list, let our lights become one and burn away the dark. So, Brandon, may I have those names now, please?
Lisa and Liza, Tracy, Casey and John, Susanna, Crystal and Carol, Nelson Oliver Cruz Valenzuela, Ross, Amanda K, Karen, Alex, Debbie P, Petra R, Beth, Vivian, Barbara, Wendy C, Carrie G, Deborah, Ant and Leela Collins, Helen, Nigel Clark, Teresa, Harriet, Lorna, Mira, and Hendrix. Thank you.
Bring forth your sick and those of troubled mind. Let them sit with us. Let them sit for just a mere glimpse of time in the knowledge all is well beyond the physicality. And for those of you who hear my words, be the diamond to allow the light into the world. Let it flow with love, with knowledge, with music, and with joy. Let it flow to all corners of the earth. Let it be as it knows all too well how to be the light that others need. For some, it is cleansing. For some, it is cauterizing. For some, it just guides their way. This week is your week to be your purity. This week is your week to be your purity for those in darkness. This week is your week to be your purity for those in darkness so that they may see. Be your light, my friend. Be your light. It is what you are. It is all you can be. No other demands are placed upon you, because the small cannot govern the big. Sit there, and others will come with their needs of your light. God bless you.